Welcome to Screencast, Kind of Funny's only entertainment-based podcast where we come together and we talk about movies, TV shows, and streaming services. This show is brought to you live most Fridays. Today is Thursday, around 11:30 on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. If you don't have time to watch us live, that's okay. You can catch us on VOD on youtube.com/kindoffunny or Rooster Teeth. If you don't want to see our faces and just want to hear our voices, you can go to your favorite podcast streaming platforms, and we should be there. If we're not, let Tim Geddes know, and he will add us there. If you want to help support us, you can go to patreon.com/kindoffunny and support at any tier you want. If you support at the bronze tier level, you can answer our little questions we throw at you. What else? I am your host.
Tier, you get the show ad-free.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Kevin, let me ask you a question. Why is it Thursday and not Friday for Screencast
Because
today?
we're doing Terminator 2 tomorrow, right?
Yes, Terminator in review rolls on. Number 1 was last week. This week, we got it. Terminator 2, Judgment
And
Day.
next Friday will be Terminator Dark Fate. Very excited to see that one, see how it goes.
Man, I'll tell you.
Yeah?
Well, it's just one of those things where I'm like, it could go either way.
It
could go either way.
Temper your expectations
that it
and
can.
hopefully you can enjoy it.
I think more likely it's going to go one way over the other. But the closer we get to this movie, the more I'm like, I want to see this car wreck happen. This slow-mo car wreck.
People who have gone to screeners in the last couple of weeks have all really liked it. So
Everything I've seen said that it's the best Terminator since 2. And
Which
that's
isn't
all
saying
that
a
they're
lot.
saying.
They're saying,
it's
like-
not saying a lot. But if it's better than Salvation, that's going to be...
Yeah.
I'm in. Salvation was fine.
yeah.
Just didn't need
Salvation
to
had a
be
lot of
Terminator.
really cool stuff that was playing with.
Yeah.
But again, this is actually James Cameron putting his name on something to a degree. So
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever... I mean, didn't he have something to do with Alita? Mm-hmm. I liked Alita.
I
when he
really
executive
liked
produced stuff, I'm
Alita.
like, okay, this is an interesting project. It's not like the best movie I've ever made, but there's some cool shit happening
Definitely.
in here.
Yeah.
And that's all I can hope for.
Alita is actually coming up a little bit later because it's one of the movies I watched.
Is there a sequel coming?
No. It's one of the movies I watched.
I want a sequel so bad.
Also, next week is a little weird. We've got a different schedule, so Screencast will actually be on Monday, where me, Nick, and Joester will be talking about our favorite scary movies.
That sounds spooky.
Spoilers, all of mine are going to be Tim Burton movies, and they're not going to be that scary.
That's okay. Yeah, that's cool. Certainly
Sorry.
one of mine will not be that scary, and will there be a sequel for it maybe announced later as news?
Wow.
We'll see. Now time for some housekeeping. My first note is you can buy Video Games Are Cool and the Nitro Rifle shirt at kindoffunny.com/store, or you can go to kindoffunny.com/elshirto and buy the Extra Life themed shirt for 2019.
I love this shirt, by the way.
I like it too.
Cameron Kennedy did the design for this? Is that what it was? That's what someone said.
It's a Joey question? She's
know
not
what?
here, yeah.
We'll just tell it. We'll just say he did. Great design.
It's a
I
cool
think
design,
cool.
yeah.
It's
You
for a
guys
great
voted
cause,
for it.
And Extra Life is coming up, so help us go into Extra Life with a good amount of momentum, and maybe I'll make it past midnight this time.
I doubt it.
I doubt it,
Barrett's going to pull it up. I actually got the
Yeah,
blue.
Cameron Kennedy.
I think it's great. I really love that logo.
I got
it's super like Saved by the Bell 90s.
Yeah.
And it's blue, so you must love it.
I got the
love it a lot.
blue
Stick around.
hoodie,
Love it a
and
lot.
it is so comfortable.
It's a cool hoodie.
Yeah. It's a great color, too.
Yeah, I got the black one, and I was just wearing it for a bit last night, and I was like, ooh.
It's warm,
I
right?
feel so snuggled.
Yeah.
kindoffunny.com/elshirto.
Help those kids.
Crew necks.
I like that
usually
crew neck,
usually my go-to.
Yeah. Speaking of Extra Life, we are doing Extra Life November 2nd? Is that?
Mm-hmm.
We will be doing it for 24 hours. There is a time shift there.
Remember, yeah.
Well, it'll be from 10 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Yes.
Because
we're not dumb. We're not gonna do that extra
springing
hour.
forward and falling backward.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be the normal shenanigans. Everyone should tune in. Of course, we're doing the community streaming beforehand, right? On Friday.
I
But
believe
before
so.
that even,
And
wow.
after.
Wow, guys. What if you wanted some Extra Life this weekend with some kind of funny magic?
Oh, that's right.
You can go to twitter.com/what'sgoodgames for the info on this. But Joey is with the What's Good Games girls over in Fargo, North Dakota, doing a whole, I think they're going 24 hours.
I think
for,
so.
for a
Yeah,
stream,
let's-
so you can
let's
check that
usually
out
do it.
this weekend.
Shout
Yeah.
out to Joester for doing
And that's
2
all
Extra
going to the
Lives.
Kind of Funny team as well.
Oh.
So
Also,
Let's
shout
beat
out.
Rooster Teeth this year.
Yeah.
What did they do last
Okay.
year? What did they do last year? Like 1.2 million or something like that? And we did like
it was
80
a
grand?
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could beat them.
Also, shout outs to our Patreon producers, Al Tribesman and David Mindtell.
candy? Want some candy?
Let me see the Mind Freak.
You make it so much
Let me hear the Mind
creepier.
Freak.
Watch out for that dove. That's what the mind freak is.
Okay,
Yes,
sounds
accidentally.
good.
In my brain, the
you're
mind
nailing
freak
it.
is a great magician,
Yeah.
but every once in a while just finds doves. And
Right,
places.
just
Like,
comes out of
fuck,
nowhere.
I forgot that.
That's
the
his
top of
gimmick.
my
That's
bike.
his gimmick. Like, oh, I forgot there was a dove there.
Like when someone's like, "Oh, sir, how was your meal?" He goes, "It was dove-tastic," and they're like, "Whoa!" He's like, "I'm not paying for it." He runs.
Yeah.
He runs away.
And then this show is brought to you by our sponsors, Honeybook, Upstart, and Hims. But more about that later. First, I want to ask Nick, what have you been watching this last week?
I just watched the first episode of Watchmen on HBO, and it started, and I was like, "Okay, there's a lot of weird shit going on."
A lot of weird
and then
shit.
it ended. I was like, "Oh, there's a lot of weird shit going on," and I loved it.
Yeah.
I love Don Johnson in it. I love Regina King. I think she's a phenomenal lead for this.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what's going on. Based on the preview for what's happening next week, this shit's gonna get bonkers, and
Yeah.
I am in.
So I also started watching it,
Yeah.
and like I kind of don't like how little I understand what's going on. I know there's like supplementary content that you could read, but like reading's for nerds, you know?
Is
what I mean?
there? That's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Yeah. So it takes place 30 years after. I believe it's 30 years, might be 40 years after the events of the
Watchmen.
comic book,
Not the movie.
not the movie.
Yeah.
And the big difference there is
Squid.
the squid, the
Yeah.
giant squid monster, interdimensional monster that gets like teleported in.
So they're really sticking with that ending that doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, I've always thought that ending was the weakest part of the comic book, where like the comic book is awesome and like it goes into way more detail than the movie ever could, but like the ending to me never made any sense. Where it's like, okay, so
For
there's
context, the ending of the movie they changed to be a
Dr. Manhattan.
They
made it look,
it made it look like he nuked cities
Yeah.
and
That's
stuff
what
like
it
that.
was.
To
Yeah, so,
make
like-
the world get together to like
Against
have
there was some
him.
sort of
enemy.
nuclear,
Yeah.
and then he went to Mars and what was over there.
well, he left.
Yeah, he
he
just, like,
left
fucking
like
chilled out.
this galaxy to go to another, to start a new galaxy essentially. Which I always thought was really cool that Ozymandias had created this like huge enemy that like made sense, where it's like, oh, Dr. Manhattan might still be on Mars ready to attack us if we fuck up again. You know, so like let's
To bring
prepare
the
and let's
world
come together.
to bring the world together to
Right.
like find a new era.
But
of
I feel like
peace and
that's
shit.
what the squids are in this, and there's a
Sure.
small spoiler,
There's
but at
the-
one
the
point
rain.
it rains squids.
Yeah.
And they're little tiny things, and as they hit, they kind of like dissolve and like disappear because they're not fully formed yet.
Right.
And I think that's the constant reminder that
Right.
we see him on Mars like building shit and wrecking shit, and you're like,
But we don't know if that footage is old.
we don't know
Yeah.
at all, but we see that, and so they're trying to keep this world intact. What I like about it though is the story seems a lot smaller than that.
Sure.
It seems like it's just about this one particular like
Mm-hmm.
state or the city that's in there, and like all and these like Klansman like entity that's happening that's having a resurgence again, which obviously is
The
like
7th
mirroring-
Cavalry.
Yeah, the 7th Cavalry, which obviously mirrors what's happening in the States, or was,
Right.
we've seen the
and they also
crops that
all
pop
have
up.
Rorschach,
Which is
masks.
weird. I don't know why they'd have that.
It seems like his book was published.
Yeah.
And like they're like there's
And they're-
basically
they've,
being
like,
a cult
corrupted
that's
it.
come
Yeah,
up.
and
Yeah.
he's being used as like a martyr for
Yeah,
their cause.
because it wasn't just what had happened. He also had all these like fucked up views on society and like how everything was corrupted.
Yeah.
So I think that they're latching onto that part as well.
I like that I like that they've taken that. I like that it's been corrupted, and I like that have you seen it at all?
No.
The idea is that the cops have to wear masks.
Yeah.
So it's like a reversal of like heroes. Like the cops always like, oh, show your faces, and this one it's too dangerous. So everywhere they go, they have to wear masks.
And
so
they all have, like,
then
fake-
take on personas. There's like
cool.
there's a guy called like the Red Man or something like that, and there's another guy, and like Regina King has like she's just head to toe in black. It's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, this sounds
I think it
cool.
looks
The
really
trailers look super rad. I'm definitely excited to watch it.
I think it looks like aesthetically really really cool. I think that like there's a lot of points that like could develop. I just think that for me this wasn't a great first episode.
We'll see.
Just because so much of it was I was like, what's really happening?
But my one concern with this is that it's Damon Lindelof. And it's not that I dislike him, it's just that I dislike him. I don't like it's just that he tends to make things that don't go anywhere that are very, very fun when you're on the ride, but then when you get to the destination you're like, that was not worth it. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna give it a few more episodes and see.
Is it 8 or 10 episodes?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. I think Barrett, do you want to pull that up on IMDb and see what comes up? I think it might be 8. But because that's kind of what they've been doing,
Yeah.
I feel like with Succession and The
Ballers as
Righteous.
well. I think Ballers is only 8.
Yeah.
Euphoria.
Ballers I finished as well.
Yeah.
Which actually was fine.
How-
It was decent. It was
did it
decent ending.
conclude well? Like, are you happy with the way
Sure.
it ended?
I mean, sure.
Oh, Ballers is just done.
It's
Yeah,
done.
done.
That was the
Fifth
series
season
finale.
was its last.
Wow.
And they
fifth.
wrapped it up. It's fine. I mean, again, Ballers is like it's candy. So you get to the end of that peanut butter cup bag, and you're just like, well, I did that today.
But do you think for me, like, it'd be worth watching?
I think so.
I think
the last season's very much everyone. We're in the last season. Let's rush everyone to get to a conclusion that's fitting. So people start. Like at one point, one of the main characters that has to retire from football like starts a radio show and it's instantly successful. And it's like,
that's
okay,
cool.
well,
Yeah.
cool.
I could see that happening too.
Sure. And then, of course, the whole thing centers around the NFL potentially having 18 games instead of 16 games. And then and a lot of it is
It's like I
what's that?
care so little about that.
Well,
like,
but a lot of it is it's about
politics.
the commentary of should we be taking better care of these players because 18 games, 2 more games could be potentially life threatening for people. So it really is about bringing like healthcare, taking better care of the characters and the Strathmore character, the Rock's character is like kind of in the middle of it, fighting for the players. It's interesting.
What you got, Barrett?
Watchmen is 9 episodes for the first season.
9 episodes. Cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm definitely going to continue watching Watchmen, though. Yeah. Nick, were you watching anything else? No?
Started Cobra Kai season 2.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
exciting.
It's fun.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun show. They've got renewed for season 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Awesome.
I'll watch that in about 4 years.
Yeah.
It's great.
Keep us updated.
Tim Tam, you watch anything good this week?
I've been watching a lot of the in-review stuff, like with Terminator. We had to do 2 last week, and Star Wars. So that's been a lot of my watching time.
Was this an excuse right there, my friend?
There's a lot of games
It's all right.
to play,
There's
man.
a lot of time.
Yeah, but anyways, I've been keeping up with my normal bullshit. Dancing with the Stars continues to kill it. Been watching The Office a lot. Now here's the thing, I'm almost done with season 5, and constantly this show surprises me.
When does it get good?
Pretty quickly. I would say maybe like
Season
2
2?
episodes in. Honestly,
All right. So
I don't get the hate on season 1.
story-wise, where are you?
So that's the thing.
Okay.
This show does such a good job of just adding interesting characters and plot points that change the dynamics up just enough. Sometimes it takes a few too many episodes to get to one of these points.
Right.
But I feel like we are in the best this show has ever been right now. And a character came in, Nick, that I did not expect to see, and his name is Idris Elba.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
What the fuck?
I know.
I was like,
God, I hate it.
how are you in this show?
Because that was before he was like super huge.
I love it,
But
though.
also, The Office was really big.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
like, don't
His
be
character
surprised that
and the
there's big-
storylines that they're going on with this are fan-fucking-tastic. And it's just making it all super worth it. So fucking funny. I really feel like the show is at its best that it's been right now.
That's exciting. I hate his character. No. I know. Just keep going, though. Keep
perfect.
going, yeah.
That's it.
All right, and other things I watched this week, I also watched.
We watched Gemini Man. And I haven't been on the show. I don't know if you ever talked about it.
I believe we
You
did, but no,
Okay,
feel
cool.
free to bring me your perspective.
I thought Gemini Man was a lot more fun than I expected it to be. The motorcycle fight scene or chase scene that we watched a little bit a couple weeks ago on
it keeps
Screencast is actually a motorcycle fight scene that lasts like 5 minutes of young Will Smith on the motorcycle fighting old Will Smith in various vehicles and states of just being. And it's fucking rad as hell. Where they
so
just
cool.
commit to how stupid it is. Where it's like he's doing wheelies and using the motorcycle like a transformer. It's fucking awesome. And every time the movie's doing that, it's great. Anytime the movie's doing pretty much anything else, it's weird. Like the character dynamics between Ramona Flowers and Will Smith. It's like, all right. Are you in love?
Sure.
Are you in love with the young one or the old one or neither? I'm not really sure.
Right.
That shit's really fucking weird. The high frame rate was fantastic.
so good.
I don't know what we need to do to get a Mission Impossible movie shot that way, but I will suck that dick. Like it needs to
Jesus
fucking
Christ,
happen.
yeah.
Like I want to see that in a good action movie because I feel like that would really change the format and make it something really special. Because this was cool and fine, but last I heard, it's gonna lose the company $75 million.
Whoops.
It's sad because it's
Yeah.
just one of those things where, like, I mean, Will Smith should still be a bankable star, but this was just a really weird project. And is it
was.
Ang Lee? Is that who directed it?
Yeah.
Great director.
Is he?
Is he?
Yeah, I mean,
Is he?
Dude directed the Hulk, like the 2003 Hulk movie.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
but he also did Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, right?
That
sounds wrong.
Let me look that up.
I thought that was Ang Lee.
Is that true?
He did
He's
Life of
directed
Pi.
good stuff. I don't know what.
Yeah.
I'm not an Ang Lee fan.
I'm yeah, he did Crouching Tiger,
Yeah.
Hidden Dragon.
Which was a fucking phenomenal
Great
movie.
action movie.
This is a great movie all around.
He also did Life of Pi. All right.
And Life
yeah,
of Pi,
Life of
which
Pi,
got
yeah.
nominated, which I'm not
But
a huge
also
fan
closed
of Life
down
of Pi,
the effects house that made it.
but
But
fuck
so
those
that's the
guys,
thing
they're
is like
working
this
hard.
guy cares about effects, cares about
Yeah.
like doing something
And it
different
shows.
and cool,
That certainly
and it
shows,
totally
yeah.
shows. The high frame rate stuff, the movie was designed around that, and in the moments that utilize it, I think that it's fantastic.
You know what?
It's an
Most
interesting
of the other
concept,
moments,
and
not so
like
much.
I have a guttural reaction to that because I'm like, oh, you're destroying the fucking narrative fabric of cinema because it's 24 frames a second, and I had the same reaction when for the Hobbit movies where they decided to film it and project it.
But
at
45
48.
was not enough, Nick.
Yeah, 48.
120 is awesome.
It's interesting.
It
Let's
feels
put it that
weird
way.
when the movie starts. The motion feels weird, and you're like, "Oh, this is a little off-putting." But as soon as the action kicks in, it like for me, I was really like, "Oh, I like this."
Yeah.
My only problem with that is that it just reminds me, it triggers me because every time I go to a certain family member's house, they refuse to turn off True Motion on their TV.
Just go there and turn it off.
It's not
I
that
hate
though,
it.
and that's the
Is
thing
it
is like, I
Matt?
feel like people
No,
are so
Matt
quick-
did it once, and I went. I was like, "Give me a remote," and he's like, "I don't know what the fuck you're doing. He can't see
I
anymore."
forgot to
Doesn't
hit him
matter.
up for his birthday last week.
Oh
Wow. It's a bad friend.
Did
Bad
you
friend.
too?
no,
Oh my
I
God.
called him, but I have a friend that's right after, and I'm like, I set a fucking reminder, and it didn't pop up on my phone.
Damn, that sucks.
I feel like people are so quick to compare it to True Motion or to The Hobbit, and it's not that.
Yeah.
This is something that's designed
I
for
think
this
that
movie.
like there are certain moments like in the beginning when
it's not
they're
that
in
there's
a
certain moments.
train.
It's just when they're moments in the movie that aren't designed around it. That's
right.
when it really
when it
doesn't
feels
look
weird,
great.
and like I think it's gonna feel weird. Like and especially like I wish they had started with like a heavy action scene, not like a calm action
Cerebral
scene.
action scene, yeah.
Anyways.
If it's playing in one of the 14 theaters in America close to you that's actually playing it in high frame rate,
Yeah.
I'd watch it. It's such a unique experience, unlike anything I've ever seen before, and it was worth the price of admission just for that. Because the movie's fine. It's not horrible. It's not bad. It's just, it's again better than I thought it was going to be based off the trailers. There's some cool parts, twists that happen that like you. It's not that you don't see them coming, but when they happen, you're like, all right, yeah, let's go.
Alrighty, I also watched Living with Yourself, the Paul Rudd Netflix show.
Man, that shit looks fucking boring and depressing.
It's really depressing. It's like I wanted it to be fun, and like there was you were talking about it, like when you go to it on Netflix and it auto plays the trailer, you get the tone of like that it's gonna be, where it's like
That's gonna be dark.
This is gonna be dark and not as fun as you want it to be.
Because the first
And that's
trailer made it
exactly
look
what
fun.
was. Yeah.
And that's sad.
Yeah.
'Cause that, like, I want to see two Paul Rudds being fun. I don't want to see two Paul Rudds being sad. I don't want one sad Paul Rudd.
I don't know that I would recommend the show, but like when the second season comes out, I'm gonna watch at least the first 3 episodes and see where they're going with it.
4 Paul Rudds.
I also watched
Double the fun. Exponential.
Yeah, it's just everything. It's multiplicity.
It
over
sounds
again.
fucking like pique my interest.
Yeah.
Sad shit with Paul Rudd. All right, I'm fucking in.
I also watched Dion Cole's comedy special last night. It's funny.
No?
Yeah, if you like Dion Cole, he's got a very specific style, but his delivery is fucking unbelievably good. So I recommend it.
And one last thing I watched was Alita Battle Angel.
Again.
Yeah, I know.
How did it
actually
stand up?
really,
I loved it the first
I
time.
really enjoy it. I've seen it multiple times now.
I saw the conversation between you and Paula happen of deciding to watch Alita again yesterday. I was just like, why? Why? Why?
It's great,
Yeah,
man. You've
I
been
like
haters
it.
since day one, and
But
we've
here-
been like, let's fucking go. And we were right. We were
It's
right.
not.
Were you right?
Great.
I-
Alita Battle Angel is not great.
I think it's
an
a cool
interesting,
anime movie.
entertaining movie.
Yeah.
but it's not great.
I mean, it's
One
not
thing
bad.
one thing I like about it is that like it throws you deep into that world where it's not necessarily explaining stuff, and it does it in like a fun way where it's like I'm not asking a ton of questions. I get where the world is at, and I think that like other movies kind of like that are like based off of mangas and stuff, they like try to set things up more. This one kind of just like, hey, this is the world. These people hunt this, and like, yep, you're in it.
It's a little too young adult for me. That's my only thing with it. And it's a lot of elements that you can tell. You're like, okay, if we all sat down together and we wanted to write a young adult like sci-fi romance movie, we would just cobble together all of these ideas from all these other movies. Like, it's borrowing from so much shit. But I'll tell you what thing, I will say, I was entertained from start to finish. And I did not think I was going to, because I was like, I thought this is going to be too much. The character watching it, that was my big concern was, am I going to be able to believe this character throughout the whole thing? And they fucking did a fantastic job with that
The
effect.
effects on it are fun. Like it's the best skin textures I've ever seen.
Could have done without the roller skating stuff.
What?
Which is
Doesn't matter.
weird.
Doesn't matter.
You're just
Doesn't.
different people.
We
man.
are, and I understand his hatred for Speed Racer. I feel like those are kind of connected.
very
And
with
similar.
also
rollerblading.
pod racing. Nick just hates sports and movies.
He likes. Doesn't matter. Wait. The real reason
I
I'm
don't
bringing
hate
this
pod
up
racing.
is
I'm
because
just
I
kidding,
bought
shit.
a Hue Sync box, which is like it's a little box where you can plug in up to 4 HDMI's, and then you plug it to your TV, and everything that comes through it will sync with the Hue lights that you have in your house. So I have lights behind my TV, and anything that's like, if there's an explosion, all the lights like will change behind it, and it's a really cool effect. And that's the whole reason I like watched this movie again, because like I wanted to see how it works. It works well.
How much does that drive both your cat and Paula crazy?
They
No,
don't
it looks
understand.
great.
It's one of those things that's like it's weirdly subtle because you're paying attention to the middle
Yeah,
of
it's
the TV.
just adding to it.
So
It's not
just
like
adding-
crazy
yeah.
effects and stuff.
I
It's
just
like
imagine the cat, like Paula
additive.
walks in and it looks like a fucking battlefield
Also,
happening.
it's-
We're watching Saving Private Ryan tonight. The cat's on the fucking ceiling, like, get me out of here! Somebody kill me!
No, it's really cool. I think that there's like updates that need to happen because they brought this out for just the PC, and you could tweak like the delay on it. And I think that there is an issue where the delay is there's a little bit of a delay, and like it's just like a fraction of a second behind where it should be. But like I'm sure they'll fix that with the updates. So it's not there yet, but it's still like I really enjoy it. Really
cool.
enjoy it. Yeah. All right, now it's time for the news.
News.
Is this Star Wars news?
News. Nah, just because the
Snooze.
trailer
No,
came
it is
out.
Star Wars
Yeah.
news.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. But we're not starting with that.
Oh, all
What are we starting with?
Black Adam.
Does he have a theme song? I could do that.
I
He's
don't think
Black
so.
Adam, and he's coming back from where? Back from the dead of headlines for a long time, but here he is again because DC movies can't ever just fucking die forever.
Not as good as Andy, but really good.
Black Adam production will begin in July 2020, according to The Rock. So he just tweeted out that it's happening still. I don't necessarily believe it.
Nah, dude. That's how news happens.
Yeah.
When The Rock posts something on his Instagram or Twitter, that's when it's like, all right, shit. Things are
To
getting
be
real.
fair, I feel like
'Cause
everything
this
he's
motherfucker
posted
came
about,
out and was
yeah.
like, yo, I'm making a Jungle Cruise movie. And we're like, no, you're not. And here we are. He's making a Jungle Cruise movie.
Yeah, I can't believe that like this movie was announced in 2007, or that he was announced to be Black Adam in 2007, and we've had so many times where it's gone like it's not happening. Like, you know, they've never said it's not happening, but it's gone totally dead in silence. And all right, it's been 10 years, over 10 years, and he's now saying it's
2007 wasn't
happening.
real, though. 2007 was the like, hey, there's talks and whatever, but that movie was never actually going to fucking happen. I would say it's 2014 when they did the whole DC slate announcement during that random, it was at E3. It wasn't at E3, it was during E3.
You
And
didn't
they're
like-
just like, here's dates for the next 7 years of DC movies. And then, you know, a lot has changed, but they hit a lot of them.
Yeah,
There's no Flash movie.
no Flash.
Yeah.
Did they say Cyborg? The poor actor from Cyborg is like, it's still happening all the time.
Yeah.
Like, and this is an interesting one to follow. Like, I like The Rock, and I'd like to see him as like this. Like, it'd be cool if this movie takes place like before his fall. I don't know that it will. Will this be a sequel to Shazam or a
You
prequel?
got to imagine.
You don't think it'll be a prequel? Because like I
No.
think it'd be cool to see him turn into Black Adam.
Yeah. No, I think it'll be a sequel.
What would you prefer though?
I'd be fine with a sequel just to get them together.
Uh,
That'd be cool. That'd
Yeah.
be fun.
I think The Rock as a bad guy would be great.
that's the thing. I want to
think it would
see
be
him as a
fucking
bad
great.
guy.
I don't
yeah.
think we need the one thing I don't want to see is I don't want to see a bad guy that they try. I don't want to see more movies from DC where bad guys are good people or vice versa, or they turn into bad guys. The Rock needs to just. He doesn't ever play this character. Just go in fucking deep like Schwarzenegger did with the Terminator and fucking be a badass bad guy.
Scorpion
I think
King.
that'd be really cool. No, God, that movie was awful.
No?
Scorpion King?
It's pretty bad, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly,
Which
jokes
is-
aside,
It'd be super fun.
I'll be surprised if this movie really does happen. But I mean, Birds of Prey is happening.
God.
Birds of Prey is happening
You mean the
in
emancipation
3
of
months. How?
Not only is that happening, but Gunn's still working on Suicide Squad, right?
Yeah, that
Another
I
one?
understand.
that?
a bit
Yeah.
more.
Man, DC. What an interesting.
And don't
spot
forget the
to
Matt
be in.
Reeves Batman is still heating up, man.
Yeah.
They're casting people left and right for that thing.
Catwoman
Jonah Hill
and
came in,
Riddler.
left, whatever.
He's out. Yeah.
But that's also like I have more faith in that because that seems so far removed from the rest of the DC EU.
I mean, it seems like they're actually trying to cast thoughtful like actors with this and maybe craft some sort of story.
Yeah.
Don't be silly. Don't be silly.
we haven't gotten that since Christopher Nolan.
Moving on to our next news story, China cancels release of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood over the Bruce Lee scene. Now, the Bruce Lee scene hasn't been confirmed by them, but
That's what people are speculating.
the Bruce Lee's daughter like made a plea to them to get be like, hey, this is gonna hurt his image, and they have canceled it. They canceled it like less than a week ago. It was supposed to come out tomorrow in China,
sucks.
and it doesn't look like it's coming out. It will be re-released in the United States tomorrow with 10 extra minutes. So if anyone wants to go watch and support it, you can.
Did you hear what's happening in the 10 minutes?
No. Did you?
Yeah, there's tattoos in between Brad Pitt's abs that just say "Free Hong Kong" over and over and
All
over.
right.
Does he kneel at any
Funny.
point? I think this is atrocious. And this is a very, very scary, dangerous thing
Yeah.
because China's such a big market. They can now dictate what they do and what we put and don't put in films. And I mean, it's not like that hasn't always been the case because it always has. There's always been a financier that's like, don't do this, do this. But this is atrocious. And it's a fictitious what-if scenario featuring Bruce Lee for 5 minutes where he loses a fight.
He
and
doesn't
he doesn't even lose that
He
badly, by
dies.
the way.
Yeah.
And so it's like, that's absurd. And first off, I love Bruce Lee more than anyone else, and obviously, like I am. I mean, Bruce Lee was very inspirational to me.
Yeah.
I used to watch Enter the Dragon over and over again.
Sure.
I watched his
The
life
shadow
story.
boxing, I
the
assume
movie
it
they
was-
did with Brandon Lee, who was like blew my mind when they weren't connected, but different spellings of the last name. Like I loved Dragon, the Bruce Lee story.
Is
I
that
love
not his
all this
son,
stuff.
Brandon Lee?
No. I'm sorry, not Brandon Lee. Jason Scott Lee.
Got it.
Was the
Okay,
one.
got
Brandon
it.
Lee was awesome, and that was sad what happened to him as
Yes,
well. With
very
Crow.
tragic.
But I love Bruce Lee. But a lot of Bruce Lee is the made-up character of Bruce Lee. And so the fact that we see him as not the end-all, be-all badass of all time, like spoilers, he wasn't that badass of a motherfucker. He didn't fight that much. He never actually had that many actual competitive fights. So we don't know what he would have done against the guy twice his size that knows how to fight. Spoilers, he probably got his ass kicked because we know that now. So like it's absurd that people that were selling this notion of Bruce Lee, like he's lovely. What he did for the sport of martial arts is amazing, and he is a legend. We will never take that away from him. But like, it's like when The Rock and Vin Diesel can't beat each other anymore, and like they have those things in their contracts so they can't beat each other. It's like you're not doing yourself any good by not being vulnerable every once in a while.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's just not realistic, and people don't buy that shit anymore. This is absurd.
Yeah, and it's too bad because like China's market is really big, and like this is definitely gonna hurt its bottom line. Last I heard, they were working on a re-edit, actually taking that part out, which is kind of a bummer. And
It's a bummer
we'll see
because
how that all goes.
it actually builds to why he's able to fight. Like if you could
Right.
beat Bruce Lee, yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
believable that you could do what happens at the end. But like also, it's an absurdist movie.
Yeah.
None of this is
Yeah.
real. By the way, it didn't end that way in real life.
No, it didn't
Everyone
at all.
fucking died. Horrible deaths.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But whatever. China's paying for everything, so they get to dictate what they want.
Next news story: Cowboy Bebop production halted after John Cho injured on set. Won't resume for 7 to 9 months. That's a lot of time. Yeah, it's a real
Yeah.
bummer. John Cho's injury is serious enough to require surgery back in LA, and afterwards he'll need extensive rehabilitation in order to properly walk again without injuring himself
Holy
any
shit.
further. Production will resume whenever John Cho is fully recovered. Production was halted because sorry. John Cho sustained a knee injury in a freak accident that happened on the last take of a routine, well-rehearsed scene.
Damn.
So it's just one of those unfortunate things.
I wonder which scene it was. If they're like redoing like all of these episodes, like I wonder.
Yeah,
I wonder.
that's the thing. I haven't watched Cowboy Bebop ever. Or wait, yeah. And we're gonna have to wait a lot longer. It sounds like
Yeah.
to actually watch it.
Just
I
watch
might-
the original, Kev.
I know, but it's just one of those things. Like I kind of want to watch
No.
the remake and then the
Don't do
original.
that. Don't do that to yourself.
Because like I want to have nothing to
watch-
compare it to.
I think Cowboy Bebop's on Amazon Prime right now.
Yeah.
It's on.
it's on Hulu?
Hulu. I think it's also maybe on Netflix. It's.
Yeah.
I feel like it's on a bunch of places, and it's Kevin. It's a season.
Yeah, it's not that
It's
long.
one
No, I know,
And
season.
I
I know.
They did a movie too, right? Didn't they do
Yeah, but I don't remember if I've ever watched it because I feel like the movie wasn't well received.
Kevin, they got a corgi.
It's just
A
I
corgi, Kevin.
wanna because like everything that has been turned any what are the
Anime.
like Death Note, I watched the anime long before I watched the movie,
Yeah.
and like this is one of those opportunities where I could watch it in reverse, and I just kind of want to see what I would get out of the show on Netflix.
I think you're going to do yourself a disservice because I think you're going to watch the movie and go, that was okay. And then you're going to watch the show and be like, that wasn't the movie. And you're going to be like, ugh. Because the movie's, it's dated at this point. The anime series was what, from like the mid 90s?
Mm-hmm.
So, I think you should watch the anime. It's also just so fucking stylized.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
jazzy and cool.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
And there's just this cool group of rogue space people doing space shit, mercenary missions. It's cool, and they got
And it's
Corgi.
very existential.
It is.
Are you bummed out at all that you're gonna have to wait longer for this, or no?
No. I mean, it's fine. They'll figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm bummed. I
Yeah.
wanted to see the live action one.
They'll
I
get around
feel
to
like
it.
this is one that
Have
has
you
a
seen
chance to be good.
the anime?
I have. Not the biggest fan. It's
Mm-hmm.
cool, but I feel like it's one of those ones that get that and Samurai Champloo. I think get a little.
I love that. Yeah.
It's when you boil it down. I feel like the elements that people like about it are that it's cool.
Yeah.
More than it
Absolutely.
being actually
Yeah.
narratively strong. But
Oof.
that's just my opinion.
What's
That's
the style
sick.
of music they use
Yeah.
in?
Again, I like it. I just think that it reminds me a lot of like Hot Topic, of people like buying Cowboy Bebop shirts at Hot Topic, where it's like it's the cool anime. You know what I mean?
I've ever seen a Cowboy Bebop shirt in
Have
Hot
you been to a
Topic.
Hot
He
Topic?
goes to Hot Topic
I
a
know.
lot.
Yeah.
A lot. And
That
Barrett would know.
Mandalorian shirt I wore the other day from Hot Topic.
Between
Wow,
that
there you go.
and Uniqlo, Barrett has his fucking finger on the pulse of what the kids like these
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, I'm not sitting here saying it's like the best anime series ever, but I just remember really liking it a lot the first time I watched
And
it.
it is dope. Like
And to me, it reminds me a lot of what was the Joss Whedon show with the spaceship?
Firefly.
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 Kind of that kind of dynamic
Yeah.
where it's like, oh, these are interesting characters. that are-
Firefly, I feel like, is one of these shows where it's like, it's a lot, like, it's cool, and that's why it gets a lot of credit. Like, I feel like the story is really, like, weird. Like, it's not a good story. It's, because it's one season, right? And then it just
For Firefly?
Yeah, and then they do a movie that kind of retcons some stuff
Yeah.
in the show.
They did Serenity, which actually
Yeah.
was a cool movie.
Well, it was a cool movie. It had cool moments. I don't know if I liked everything about it.
Better than I
So
thought it was going to
with
be.
that though, Kev, like Samurai Champloo,
Yeah.
it's like what 25 episodes.
Yeah.
I think that maybe 6 of those episodes have story elements,
Sure.
and
There's a lot
the
of that.
rest is just kind of like the filler.
Yeah.
And like the
building
filler
relationships,
builds
too.
relationships,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
sure, but I feel like even those feel rushed. Once we get to the story beats, you're like, oh, now we're gonna talk about how those characters actually are, as opposed to just like seeing them kind of do things.
Yeah. Moving on to some Fast and the Furious news. They have brought on Cardi B into the family.
Great.
You excited about that?
She's not gonna be in the family. She's gonna be like Rita Ora, or
Hey, you
they,
think
they
so?
always have the cameo rapper girls.
We had another one
or
of those.
Iggy.
We had another one of those moments where Vin Diesel like tweeted out or Instagrammed, a long day of production, and Cardi B in the background being like, "Yeah, it was fun," you know.
Yeah, gotta love Cardi
Yeah.
B.
I don't I'm not terribly familiar with Cardi B, truth be told. Like I'm sure I've heard the music and all that stuff. I know everyone has a huge she's super popular right now, but I've heard interviews that
throws
she's
her
given on
heels at
stuff.
people.
Does she?
Yeah, when she gets in fights, it's
I
great.
heard, I saw like a quote from an interview she gave for because I guess she's in the movie Hustlers.
Yes.
Where they were like
Very short,
They were
very
like,
short.
"Did you like doing the movie?" She's like, "No, it was really long." And they're like, "Would you do another one?" She's like, "Nah. Well, actually, you know what? For what they paid me, yeah, I'd do another one." And I was like, "I respect that."
Dude,
I
she was
respect
in
that.
it for like 3 scenes.
Yeah, she was like, "Whatever,
Yeah.
it's kind of boring to make movies." I was like,
Yeah.
"Good for you, good for you,
Yeah.
Cardi B."
Also, like a non-news story, the Chris Morgan, the writer of 6 of the Fast and Furious movies, met with Keanu Reeves.
Hell
They're
yeah.
trying to get Keanu Reeves on one of the next ones.
Good. They
So,
should.
Yep, they really
He
should.
should be the bad guy in the next one,
There was-
or it should be
Y'all in.
tied into the John Wick universe.
I'm in for any of this.
That would be amazing.
Get Keanu in everything, specifically Fast and Furious. I want this to happen. More Instagram Vin Diesel stories that we've missed over the last couple weeks include John Cena's reveal. Like,
Right.
We knew he was going to be in the movie, but like actually seeing him on set with Vin, it's a little special something. You
It
know what I
sure
mean?
is. Yeah, and it's just Keanu Reeves apparently was also in talks and being in Hobbs and Shaw, but like it didn't happen clearly. But also like there was a mysterious bad guy at the end that we didn't see. Could it be
Great.
Keanu Reeves?
I can only hope.
God,
It doesn't matter.
Keanu
one
Reeves,
way or the
Ryan
other.
Reynolds, Kevin Hart, and God, Statham and
Rock.
The Rock. Like, woo! You know, I think that'd be a lot of fun.
a
I can be
lot.
totally behind that.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
man meat.
Jesus.
Yeah.
All right, now let's talk about Disney Plus a little bit. Hocus Pocus 2 sounds like it's in development, and I'm extremely excited because I love Hocus Pocus 1. Is it a scary movie? No. Is it a great Halloween movie? Yes.
100%.
It really is.
Taught me the word virgin.
Cool.
I think it taught me the word virgin too.
Taught a whole
With it.
generation
Yeah.
the word virgin.
Very, very little news in this. Jen D'Angelo, who served as the writer and co-producer of Workaholics, has been hired to write the script for
Good.
Hocus Pocus 2, which is in works at Disney+. Super excited. I hope they can do something fun. There's also rumors that they're going to bring the Three Witches back, which doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? They killed them off real good.
They're witches, bro.
Yeah.
It's magic.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe
Yeah.
they understand what they have here. They know that they can't fuck this up, and I think that it's going to be a smarter sequel than just a cash-in.
And then my next Disney Plus news story is kind of just a little update for people that have Verizon. Verizon customers will get Disney Plus free for 1 year.
So what this means is Disney Plus is going to have a 9 million leg up subscription.
Jesus Christ.
It's
That's
insane
cool.
when you
Yeah.
think
I'm a
about it that
Verizon
way,
guy.
right?
Yeah.
Get people
Yeah, there you
hooked
go. You can sign
that
up for
year.
it.
You get that 1 year, boom. You're going to want to resubscribe next year. The bigger thing with this news, Kev, is that it adds on to, if people already bought the 3-year deal, you can somehow add this so you have 4 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. There was also a post on Reddit where they brought out a lot more content, right?
Yeah, so this wasn't a post on Reddit. I found this post on Reddit.
Got it.
That's not where they announced it. But that day that they did the whole releasing every single thing that's going to be day one, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that is also going to be day one that they didn't announce then that they just figured all out. It's cool stuff, though, including like a bunch of the shorts, starting with Steamboat Willie, all the way through the Pixar shorts.
Oh, awesome.
And more modern things.
And the classic Home Alone 3.
So we have Home Alone.
Well, they have Home
and
Alone 1.
Home Alone 3. Home Alone 2 is missing, which is weird. But I think that's like we've seen a lot. Some weird
There's already
licensing
deals going on.
Disney's Doug TV series
Which
is now
before
there.
they were only talking about the movie, I believe. So that's
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
cool.
So
Jack Attack, hell yeah.
bunch of cool stuff. This just kind of shows the direction that they're going. Of like they are, I think, little by little trying to like take down verticals of everything. More Disney Plus stuff that's not fun news that has been making the rounds. We've known this for a while, but now it's a bit more of a reality. The deals with a lot of the Marvel movies are weird. So you know how right now there's a set of the modern Marvel movies from like 2016 to 2019 that are on like rotating on Netflix. Once they leave Netflix, they can come to Disney Plus. There's a weird thing in that contract that they're going to return to Netflix after a couple years.
Interesting.
For a couple years.
There was a
Why?
story that I didn't include here that was basically like you're going to be able to download stuff, and once it leaves Disney Plus, if you have it downloaded, you
It's
still
yours.
have it.
So
which is
I think
really, really cool.
those two news stories were together.
Yeah.
So that the idea would be once they come, just fucking download. Then you'll have them.
Interesting.
All right, now it's time to talk about some Star Wars news.
Bands.
Tickets went up on sale, and boy, did they break records.
Man, I tell you, I
It-
had a
hearts.
heck of a time getting Tim to get me one of those things.
It was a lot harder. It was a lot harder because it happened at like a reasonable hour, where it was like 5 o'clock at like in the middle of the day,
Yeah.
Pacific time, and it was just like, man, getting the tickets we wanted, real tough.
Good for them.
4:45 to be exact is like one because we were all on standby. Tim, me, Joey. I was getting tickets for Cleveland, but then I decided to help out the San Francisco kids over here.
Please tell me you just have a
Cleveland
friend named Cleveland.
Yeah. Yep. There you go, Nick.
I was
And
like, how have I not met this guy before?
in the first 45 or in the first hour, it was 45% over Endgame's ticket
A.
sales, which is
Fucking A.
insane.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and like I wonder what the next one to break these sort of numbers will be when the next movie.
I mean, the thing there, though, is like, whatever. These records don't mean fucking shit because it's like, it's all, you get so specific with the wording of it broke the sales of in 1 hour compared
it
to.
was the top Wednesday night at 7 o'clock sales.
And it's like, all
ticket
right,
sales
cool.
thing.
Because like, if I'm understanding that correctly from what I've seen, it is Star Wars 9 outpaced Endgame's first hour of sales. Great. So 5 p.m. versus 5 a.m.
Sure.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, the only one that matters is what is the end all. Be leading up to what are the pre-sale
Yeah.
tickets goals, and I don't see this beating. I don't see Star Wars beating Endgame in any shape of matter.
You think
across
so?
the board? Yeah, I don't think so, man.
I'm gonna
It's definitely
In
not going to.
sales?
It's definitely not going to beat it.
not
overall, box
overall,
office.
but just like as pre-sales. Just because I
just
feel
don't
like
think so, man.
the more we move forward, the more people understand to like pre-order tickets and like the importance of it.
Yeah, pre-order, sure, but like
Yeah.
whatever. Like, I just think that at the end of the day, I'm going to be surprised if episode 9 beats out any record that Endgame has.
No, I don't think it will.
No.
No.
Probably
I just
not.
feel like there's. I mean, and Star Wars is such a a polarizing subject for so many people.
I don't
and
think
Endgame was. I just feel like it's not that important for people to rush out and see it general public. I think Endgame was a much bigger like cultural event that happened, and I think it came in with such positivity. That's why that helped propel it to like the #1 spot.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's not a single person that's not gonna watch this movie as soon as they can that has ever been interested in Star Wars.
I think there's a lot of people that aren't. I think there's a lot of people that are going to wait for it. I just don't think there's that ton of people that need to rush out and see it.
If we weren't able to have gotten you a ticket, would you gone to see it that weekend?
Yeah, I would have probably just found a showing that weekend that worked. I don't need to see this date, like night one. Aside from that, if we didn't have to make content about it, I wouldn't have to see it night one.
Of course.
I would have waited till like a Saturday afternoon and gone to see it probably.
They also announced that it is going to be the longest Star Wars movie, period.
They need to. They got to make 2 and 1 on this one.
Well,
They gotta close out a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It's interesting though, because like you go back and you watch. We'll obviously talk about the last trailer that dropped, but man, it's all coming to an end. This is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, now it's time for some ads. Our first ad is Honeybook. If you run your own business, you're used to doing it all. But if you're struggling to get through your to-do list, Honeybook can help. When you start your business, did you dream about all those admin tasks like drafting proposals and contracts and tracking down payments? If that wasn't part of your dream, you need Honeybook. And I tell you, watching Nick handle all these things in the last 4 years has been interesting because it is a lot of stuff, and having a management tool, that would have made life a lot easier for him. Honeybook is an online business management tool that organizes your clients' communication, bookings, contracts, and invoices all in one place. Honeybook makes it simple to run your business better. Professional templates, e-signatures, and built-in automation keeps everything on track and makes you look good. They can even consolidate services you already use like QuickBooks, Google Suite, Excel, MailChimp, or Gmail. It's the #1 choice for clients and business management for freelance and business owners. Save time and do more of what you love with Honeybook. And right now, Honeybook is offering our listeners 50% off when you visit honeybook.com/morning. Payment is flexible, and this promotion applies whether you pay monthly or annually. Get honeybook.com or go to honeybook.com/morning for 50% off your first year. That's honeybook.com/morning. Our next ad is Upstart. As most of us have found out the hard way, getting into debt is easy. Getting out, real hard, especially if your credit score isn't great. Thankfully, now there's Upstart.com, the revolutionary lending platform that knows you're more than just your credit score and offers smarter interest rates to help you pay off high-interest credit card debt. When Greg Miller was a young man, he finally got his dream job at IGN and needed to move to San Francisco. Well, that's really expensive, but he had to make it happen. So he took out loans, and since he really hadn't developed credit at this point, his interest rate was terrible. If only he had used Upstart, which goes beyond the traditional credit score when assessing your credit worthiness. They actually reward you based on your education and job history in the form of a smarter interest rate, which means they would have looked at Greg's BA in journalism and probably given him a much lower rate. Upstart believes you're more than just your credit score. They make it fast, simple, and easy to check your rate in just a few minutes. The best part, once the loan is approved and accepted, most people get their funds the very next business day. If you plan correctly, that could be the next day. Over 300,000 people have used Upstart to pay off credit cards or meet their financial goals. Free yourself from the burden of high-interest credit card debt by consolidating everything into one monthly payment with Upstart. See why Upstart is ranked #1 in their category with over 300 businesses on Trustpilot, and hurry to upstart.com/morning to find out how low your Upstart rate is. Checking your rate only takes a few minutes and won't affect your credit. That's upstart.com/morning. Finally, our last ad is Hims. You've heard us talking about Hims and how they're helping guys look their best. If you haven't, it's time to see what they're all about. 66% of men start to lose their hair by age 35. Once you've noticed thinning hair, it can be too late. For some people, it's younger than that. You know, Andy has been on top of that for a little while. Smart kid. Is that hairline slowly starting to move backwards? Any bald spots yet? Because once they're there, it's too late. The best way to prevent more hair loss is to do something about it while you still have some. It's time to get a handle on those precious locks. Do you want a bald spot to pop up or your hairline to recede? Or do you want to do something about it first? Why do guys turn to weird solutions or do nothing when they can turn to medicine and science? 4Hims is a one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, sexual wellness for men. Thanks to science, baldness can be optional. Hims is helping guys be the best version of themselves with licensed physicians and FDA-approved products to help treat hair loss. No snake oil pills or gas station counter supplements. Prescription solutions backed by science. Hims was created by a guy who knows some men's health conversations are easier online than in person. No awkward in-person doctor visits or long pharmacy lines. 4Hims connects you to real doctors online, which would save you hours. Completely confident and discreet, unless you're Nick and Andy, and then we talk about it all the time. But I have seen Nick do one of these at the airport, just on his phone, taking pictures of his hair, and everything goes through smoothly, and he doesn't have to waste time going to an actual doctor. Answer a few questions. A doctor will review, and if they determine it is right for you, can prescribe you medication to treat your hair loss that is shipped directly to your door. Our listeners can get started with Hims Complete Hair Kit for just $5 today, right now, while supplies last, and subject to doctor's approval. See the website for full details and safety information. This could cost hundreds if you went to the doctor or a pharmacy somewhere else. Go to 4hims.com/KFMS. That's FORHIMS.com/KFMS. 4hims.com/KFMS. Go check those ads out.
Hey, Kevin, man, you think I can jump on here real quick?
Yeah, what's up, dude? What you got for
fan
me?
of the show. Appreciate you letting me get a little
Thanks,
time
Coach
on
G.
it. My favorite show, The 100, just announced they're for sure going to do a prequel series. So let's get it.
99.
All right. He didn't like that. He didn't like that one bit.
Cool guy got that.
No, I think Tim got in that situation. Now it's time to talk about some trailers. Did someone fart?
That was the door.
Okay.
Do you want me to?
No, it's a smell.
I always got
It's a
one in the
smell.
fucking
It's a
in the
smell.
hopper.
Yeah.
thought
All
it
right.
was the
The
sound.
first
It sounded
trailer
like a
that we're
fart
talking
sound.
about, Silicon Valley,
I
season
love it.
6.
I fucking love it.
Yeah, you
I
in?
love it. Yes.
This is last season.
They lost me a little bit there, but then they got me back at the end of last season, and now with the trailers and the promotional stuff they put out for this, I'm like, let's go, man. Let's go. Burn it all down.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
happy it's ending. But
I am
it
too.
was about season 4 that I was like, all right, I'm over the story, but I never was over the jokes. Like
Comment
the
was still
writing
there.
is so good, and I really feel like they understood what they were doing. The problem was they hit a point where a whole season got condensed into every episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time after time after time. And this one looks
It
like
was
it
Monster of the
might be
Week.
going back to the season telling one final story, and I'm super down for that. I love seeing the characters like together again, like a bunch of different ones that we might not have seen much of, like Russ being one
Russ
of them,
Hammond.
Right.
who's
God, I love
so
Russ.
great.
The best.
So
Yeah, I mean, Silicon Valley for me is always best when it's a commentary, a meta commentary of what's happening in real life. And this obviously is fucking with Zuckerberg and the Facebook
Right.
Senate hearings and all that stuff. And then obviously going into the commentary and satire of like what the internet is, freedom on the internet, all that stuff. And the fact that everything's got to fucking been productized and
Right.
there's ads in every single thing, everything's listening to everyone, there's no privacy left. I think it's great. As long as they have the Jared character, I'm in. It is the thing that makes
Seeing
me
him, like-
and my wife laugh so fucking much. That actor is
He's
so
so good.
you know what
Good.
else he's good in?
He's
The Office. That's right.
fantastic.
He's great in the
But-
Office.
I thought you were gonna say Spy, which is a Melissa McCarthy movie. He has a little cameo in that. It's great.
No,
He's great.
I
in that.
didn't see that. But I love that it looks like he's about to break in
Yeah.
this. And I'm like, let's fucking go.
I'm interested to see where that character goes because I've always enjoyed his loyalty.
Yeah.
And how awesome he's just always down, you know?
It's a little sad that T.J. Miller went fucking crazy and nuclear and couldn't be a part of
Good
the show
for him.
anime because I miss the Bachman vibe.
Yeah.
I miss that foil being there to just kind of like show everyone how ridiculous he is and how they are. But now they've stepped up the Jin Yang character, and I'm happy with that. I know you hate that character
just
so
can't
much.
believe, like, I wish
Jimmy
that,
Yang is awesome.
I love
that
Jin Yang,
Bachman
too.
and Jin Yang, I wish that both of them only lasted to the second season and then were just gone. I can't believe Jin Yang's still a fucking thing with the same one-note joke the entire time.
But he's the meta commentary on China, which I love.
I'll
On
take
China
it,
coming in
and for that,
and stealing stuff and
I'll
like
take it.
Yeah.
and doing all that stuff. I just think I think the show is just ridiculous.
So this
And I
trailer
hope
got
it-
you guys hyped?
I hope it goes the way of Veep. The Veep season. I know you guys never watched Veep, but the Veep went like, okay, we're good. We're gonna play it safe a little bit. We're gonna have some crazy stuff happen. Then when they figured out it was their final season, fucking gloves were off, and it is the most offensively funny show I've ever watched in my life. And I hope they dip into that category a little
I
bit.
have to start watching Veep. That's on my
You will
list of
laugh.
stuff. Yeah.
So hard.
I
Kevin,
almost started
you will
it this
laugh
weekend.
So hard. It's so fucked up. And if politics are even 5% close to what Veep does, it's the world's going to fucking hell in a handbasket.
Damn, one of the things I forgot to talk about that I watched is Curb Your Enthusiasm season 9.
Oh, yeah.
I watched half of it. It's Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's just as good as like all the other seasons.
I gotta be
enjoy
in
it
a
very
real
much.
good. I gotta be in a specific mood
Yeah.
for Curb,
To watch
like a
this
very
piece of
specific
shit,
mood.
just be a piece of shit.
and everyone's just a piece of shit
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
God bless him.
All right, well, let's talk about our next trailer, Bloodshot, with Vin Diesel.
So I owe Mr. Yasman 300 an apology because I think he was like on one of the shows where he was talking in the chat. He was like, "Nick, have you seen the trailer for Bloodshot?" And I had seen one of the stupid little square things that IGN put up on their Instagram, where it was just the thing with his face coming up and going back on. I was like, "Vin Diesel, why are you trying? You fucking have it. You've made it. You've got Fast and Furious." Leave well enough alone. Though you've convinced the world you're an actor, good for you. And then I watched this trailer and I'm like, this looks dumb, this looks dumb. It's got Guy Pearce. And then it's just kind of like, and then in the middle there's a twist in the
Yeah.
trailer and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I can get
Maybe I
behind
just
this.
ate my words. Maybe I could do that. It's weird that it's Memento. It's just a remake of Memento,
Yeah.
but I kind of want to watch it. What do you think, Tim?
I think that this movie suffers from the exact same thing that Gemini Man does, where I
It's
feel like
useless and
Gemini
no one
Man,
wants it.
Gemini Man would have been a lot better if the twist wasn't in the trailer. But I understand that the twist had to be in the
Yeah,
trailer
yeah,
for people
yeah.
to watch it. But maybe not because people still didn't fucking watch it. But with this, I'm not watching this movie.
Really?
Why would I need to? I just saw it. I saw it in 2.5 minutes. Not
He's
only is
got
there a
nano in his
twist,
blood.
we see twists on twists, and
And
then we
nano
see
blood.
big reveals, and I'm like, this would have been actually pretty fucking cool in movie form. In trailer form, it's really fucking cool. Everyone, go watch this trailer. It's dope as fuck. But yeah, no, I would say not a chance I see this movie in theaters.
Yeah, you don't think that?
It's no.
Sorry. Duh. I'm not seeing it in theaters either. I will watch it on the back of a plane
I'm
or
super
on
down.
Netflix when
I'm
it comes.
down.
I might even rent it, which is, by the way, the highest esteem I can pay a movie like this. I might give you $3.99 through Comcast to watch this, and my wife will go,
Through
"Yeah, I'll watch
Comcast?
this." And then 5 minutes in, Dia's just gonna get up and walk away. I won't see her
Why
for 2 hours.
would you rent it through Comcast?
Because
Which
if
is, but that's the lowest
Let me explain it to you.
quality.
Oh, great question, Kevin. Thank you for asking that question. Because my wife pays the Comcast bill, and I pay the other bills.
Got it.
So if I can somehow convince her to get it on that, it's like a free movie.
I think that this movie has so many cool elements. Like we've been talking a lot about Alita this episode. There's a lot of Alita shit in this.
It does.
And it's like when
Yeah.
he starts fighting the
guy with the
enemy,
arm and shit.
I'm like, this looks cool as hell. I wish I didn't see it. Like I wish that this just was a surprise in the movie.
I mean, dude, it's a fucking Vin Diesel movie, so I'm gonna spoil it for you. There's not gonna be any surprises. He's just gonna be.
But there were surprises. There were a ton of surprises.
Yeah, like there was
There's
like,
about 10 surprises
in the
that
middle
trailer.
when you get that big surprise of like, oh shit, it's all like pre-recorded stuff that like they just swap a face out. Like, whoa, what a cool concept,
Dude, but if they didn't-
interesting that they just if they didn't,
If they didn't show
it
you
would
that,
just be a
I wouldn't give
generic.
a fuck about this. Like,
But you
But
don't,
you don't either now,
Anyway,
yeah.
and that's the Gemini Man argument. It's like, I just don't fucking believe it. These movies just need to commit to just show one cool thing in the trailer, get people hooked, and if they're hooked, they're in, and then let them see the movie and be like, guys, you need to fucking see this thing. There's a lot of cool ass shit. I feel like I'd be much more up on Gemini Man if we didn't know there's more.
Tim, you're living in the 90s, bro. This is the 2019s. Do you
Great,
understand?
I do.
They got to show the whole. At a certain point, we're just going to pay $3 ahead of time, and they're going to show us a 15-minute long trailer, and you won't even have to see the movie anymore. That's it. You can just pay a little bit of money. You're like, cool, I know what happens in Star Wars. I'm good. I don't have to sit there anymore.
And we're there
I'm gonna go see
already
Star Wars.
with this and many other trailers.
Did anyone watch that one, the Vin Diesel movie that he did, where he was like a fucking vampire hunter or like a badge?
No.
Witch hunter?
No.
Witch hunter?
The Witch Hunter, yeah.
No one? Yeah, I feel like this
Did
might
you?
go the way. No,
Yeah. This seems a little bit cooler than that.
I love Vin Diesel.
Like, this seems like...
in 3 roles.
Yeah.
1, I love him in Fast and Furious.
Uh-huh.
God bless him. He's Dom. He'll always be Dom, first and foremost. 2,
course.
he'll always be Riddick. I stand by the fucking Riddick franchise.
Riddick's are great
Riddick is-
movies. Well, I don't know. I didn't see the last
It's
one.
good.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's surprisingly good. It's pretty much a remake of Pitch Black, but it's well done, and Katie Sackhoff's in it. I love Katie Sackhoff. And 3, I really liked him in that movie where he was like he took care of the kids. He was like a daycare kid. thing. Pacifier. I'm joking about that last
Yeah,
one.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
I don't think I ever saw that.
Okay.
Would have been better if I remembered the movie name, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe not though.
Yeah, no, we still got there. We still got there
we
very
all
quickly.
we all see the poster in our heads.
All right, now the last trailer. And this is the big one.
Just when I thought I was out.
Just when I thought.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back.
And that's the thing, going back to what we were talking about,
Yeah.
about where people are at with Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way this movie doesn't do better than Last Jedi.
Oh, it's gonna do well. It's gonna do well. I think I don't think I represented my viewpoint. I think it's still going to do amazingly. I just don't see it coming anywhere close to the cultural phenomenon that was Endgame.
Yeah,
like
and
this
that's
is
fair.
the end of the Skywalker trilogy. But I think that there's. I just wish
trilogies.
the trilogy of
Saga,
trilogy, the
saga,
saga rather.
yeah.
I just there's some part of me that feels like that's been tarnished a little bit, and
Mm-hmm.
it's unfortunate because Star Wars just isn't that unbelievably like sacred franchise
Right.
that it used to be. It's still gonna do $1 billion with the numbers. I just don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's ever gonna outpace anything that Endgame does. I think your point earlier was correct.
but you're bringing up the example of how the fan base is split, but I don't even think it's that for Star Wars. I think it's because you just had this trilogy to build up this movie, and it wasn't really until this movie where they're like, oh, we're ending the Skywalker saga. I think when you put that on it, I think the fans are like, oh, I guess I'll kind of see this one. But the reason why Endgame did astronomically well is because there were movies back to back to back to back for 10 years straight.
Yeah.
You know,
and none of
all
the, and by the
building.
way, and that's the thing. Like,
Most of them.
name one Marvel movie that lost money.
Yeah,
Right? There
exactly. No
isn't.
matter how bad they were,
Yeah.
exactly.
If
And
you
that's,
told-
and that's
yeah,
like
and-
the
and-
Star Wars releases have been so segmented and weird, and they've only been going on for the last 4 years.
I mean, yeah, and
Question
more
mark.
than that,
4
though,
years.
like, to your point, they're not building to an end. They're
Yeah.
calling this the end,
Yeah,
so
but it's
they're
not the
making
end.
it feel like it's the end.
Right.
Yeah.
Endgame was building to
The end
of what
Infinity
that was.
Saga.
Right.
And it's
Right.
like that feels a lot like an easier pill to swallow because watching Force Awakens and Last Jedi does not make me feel like we're leading to the end of anything.
No.
Yeah,
And not only
exactly.
that, but it doesn't instill confidence that they had this as a grand plan all along. Whereas you see Endgame and you're like, fucking masterful. Like that was just a beautiful, beautiful strategy that you guys executed on perfectly. Like I even wonder, and I'm sure the answer to this is the opposite of what I'm gonna say, but I even wonder if they were gonna call it The Rise of Skywalker, or what's it, The Rise of Skywalker,
Yeah.
call it.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was even going to be the name originally for it, or if they were like, we got to bring Skywalker back into this. And that, even having that doubt is like, oh, that shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Having said that, fucking I cried during this trailer. I watched this trailer like 3 times when everyone left, and I was just like,
It's a great trailer.
when you see the the
Crazy
emperor
ass.
with the throne like floating toward her, I'm like, is that gonna be a dream? Is that like a vision she's getting, or is he alive? And then you see the thing coming out of the ocean. I'm like, this is gonna be cool.
There's also a moment where they cut down, like, it's a quick flash of them cutting something that's black that's falling up, like, exploding. And, like, if you pause it, it's like a little pedestal where he has the helmet
Right,
on
yeah.
there, and it's
And
like,
if you pause it,
oh.
you know what else is behind that? Chewie's bandolier and bowcaster are just laying in the back.
No way. No way.
No.
I'm gonna say this: people are gonna die in this, and I think I think C-3PO.
C-3PO's getting it, dude.
There's the moment
Are
where
we
it's
sure that's not a red herring though? I, feel
I
like
don't.
That's
I don't think it's a red herring. What I think is they have to. Like my theory is they have to hook him up to something,
To the
and then his
Millennium
consciousness is
Falcon.
gonna go to the Millennium Falcon, and he's
Right.
gonna be dead as we know it.
Yeah.
Like he has to actually take over the machine. and that's
God, I
it.
really hope the
Interesting.
Millennium
And that-
Falcon
Because he's
doesn't
on the
fall
when
at
he
any
says that, it
point.
looks like he's
Yeah.
on the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
He's hooked up to it.
Remember
Little
where?
gremlin
Remember
monster.
when
That
they
doesn't look like the Falcon.
remember when they set that whole idea up in Solo? The same.
I mean,
That
they didn't set that up.
Anakin
They
made
did that
C-3PO?
to someone in Solo. They did that to that robot in Solo.
Yeah, I'm
that's right.
just saying. But now, if that's the situation in this one,
I don't
they
think
set it
that's
up
the
for this.
situation.
They need to kill everyone. Kill everyone.
Kill them all.
This people need to
I
die.
really hope
Leia
it's the
needs to
entire, the
Lando
entire,
should die.
The entire cast dies, and at the end, it's just R2D2 just fucking chilling out.
Just
And,
him
and then he
alone.
turns around and a fucking Darth Vader mask comes out. He was Vader the whole time.
Christ.
We didn't know because Anakin made him. No, Anakin made
Jar Jar
C-3PO,
pops
goddamn.
up. Oh, it's just awesome now.
Oh, mooey. I get
We
3
won,
movies
yeah.
myself.
Dude, here's the thing. For the Force Awakens trailers, all of them, from the teaser to the trailers to the final trailer, all of it, every single one was pitch perfect. I don't think that, with the exception of Endgame, I've ever been that excited
Who
for
are you?
something coming out, and just like it, anytime to this day, watching, even I've now seen the movie, and watching those trailers like makes me feel something. Then the Last Jedi trailers came out, and all throughout all of them, the only moments that really got me were the Luke being like the Jedi.
The Jedi have to end.
The Jedi
Yeah.
need to end and all that stuff. I was like, fuck, that's really cool. But otherwise, those trailers, I feel, played it a little safe. And they just didn't hit me the same way. And we were kind of like, we'd already had Force Awakens, Rogue One, and then that. So it's like Star Wars was back. And Last Night I just felt like I'm super fucking hyped, but it's just another Star Wars movie. This one, I felt that way as well with the teaser. This trailer, though, the first half of it still felt that way. It's like, this looks beautiful. I'm
And I
in
thought
for
we
sure.
were getting a lot of
but
establishing
it's kind of
shots,
just
right?
like normal JJ Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. Then you get to the C-3PO moment, and they just know what they're doing. They're just like, all right, we're going to turn the feels up to 1,000. Is it cheating? Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh,
Do I
yeah.
give a fuck?
It's cheat
No.
code.
Is that a corny ass thing to happen? And is it weird that C-3PO's calling that group of people his friends? Yes.
Whatever.
There's a lot of shit. I don't give a fuck. I'm in. When that score came in, that is the most epic version of Star Wars music possible. And seeing from that moment on in this trailer and the groups together and seeing Finn be like, yeah, and then it cuts to Lando and it cuts to all the fucking shit we see, all of the ships together. It's like the celebration, the like hype, everything that we see in this trailer. It feels like what I remember Return of the Jedi being, but in real life. Like that, it's what's in my head, but it's being shown to me.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Reliving a memory.
It's reliving a memory, man.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can't believe that they're nailing that. And leave it to JJ to do that.
The scale of things, too, just seems so absurdly huge. The amount of ships that we saw
in that shot behind the Falcon and stuff like
all
that. Yeah.
together, and it's like, oh, man.
The amount of
This is
Star
gonna go
Destroyers
big.
we see.
Yeah.
Dude, the shot, like, not only is it scale on the large side, on the small side, too. I love seeing we're getting tons of Star Destroyers. Where are they coming from? The fucking water? What the hell's going on? The TIE fighters flying in, all that's cool. But on top of that, we have all the good guys coming in and all their different ships. That's going to be fucking rad. But then we get all of them on a Star Destroyer on these fucking, like, horse like
alien things.
What the hell?
Looking things.
Just running on a Star Destroyer? Why? How? It's fucking cool.
To me, though, it kind of fucked with me just perspective-wise, where it's like, they look really big for, like, the part of the Star Destroyer that they're running on.
I don't know.
Oh, there's another shot later on where you see it's like obviously the same scene, but they're a little farther away, and you see the other Star Destroyers come up.
Yeah.
They are fucking tiny. on that thing,
Here's
and
my
it's
here's my one
cool.
critique with this trailer.
Okay.
Sorry, Barrett, to cut you off.
No, you're good.
How come everyone gets to change costumes but Rey? Did they not give? Does she only have one thing that she wants to wear? Because Poe Dameron looks like fucking Nathan Drake from Uncharted, and I'm all in with the cool
Yeah.
gloves and like shit like that.
Yeah.
She's still in that weird white outfit.
Maybe
What's
she
going
just
on
likes
with
that.
That's what she likes, man.
Yeah.
Everyone got to change outfits in the original one. These people only have one piece. It's space clothes. That's it. They watch
Man,
themselves.
She doesn't feel like she needs to change.
It's weird.
I'm stoked for this movie. I'm upset that we're not watching it in Dolby at 7 o'clock.
At Dolby 1045. Think I'm going to wait.
Are you really?
You're
I can't do that. I
insane.
can't
I want
wait.
to watch it in Dolby, guys. It's only one way to watch it. The right way.
Okay.
No, I can't wait. Like, I legitimately, like, there's no way I can live without knowing what happens in this story.
for 3 more hours.
Yeah, that's it. That's a big difference for me.
The only thing I want to talk about from the trailer, there's
Yeah.
the shot in the second half of the trailer. There's a shot of Finn on kind of like the weird part of the Death Star that it seems that Rey and Kylo Ren were fighting on, and there's it kind of harkens back to a moment from Force Awakens where he's running up and yelling Rey, and someone pointed out on Twitter, I think it was like, this is going to be kind of a mirror to that scene from Force Awakens where she is being taken away by Kylo Ren and he yells Rey, but this time when he yells it, she's going with him willingly. And I'm like, fuck, I'm so fucking in right now.
Yeah.
Very excited for this
I have so
movie.
many worries about this movie as a whole, just being able to tie everything together, and like they're really putting a lot on this ending the saga, and it's like again, the movies have not built that up. Palpatine's back. They better have a damn good explanation.
I know. Yeah, like I
He was back the whole time.
I'm
was
excited
so-
for them to wrap up the story with like these new characters. Like I really like these new characters. So like if it does a good job with that, cool. Yeah, but the building up of like, yo, we're bringing back Palpatine. He's been a part of this the whole time, and now we're ending the Skywalker saga. It's like, all right, those are big fucking shoes you're making for yourself to fill. We'll see if you can pull it off.
Yeah. But I believe in JJ making this movie what it can be at this point. And we talk in the interview a lot about how, especially with the prequels, it's like, well, they did the best with what they could in 2, did the best with what they had in 3, and blah, blah, blah. And with where we're at now, it's less so about like they fucked everything up quality-wise, because I know that there is that for some people with Last Jedi. But it's more just like, there's a lot here that is not set up that we're already seeing in one movie that needs to wrap up 3 movies, let alone 9 movies.
It's going to be the longest one. They got plenty of time, I
True.
guess.
Well, it's not plenty of time. They got time.
Yeah.
But I feel like JJ is going to bring the hype. And at the end of the day, if I just get a movie that is as hype as the last minute of this trailer, I'm fucking in. And
Y'all know
I'll
Hayden
probably.
Christensen's coming back for this, right?
And I'd love that.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing is, like, at this point, it's like, cool, give us all that shit.
Yeah.
Like, this is now just fan service.
I do not
No.
want Hayden Christensen. No, I don't want Hayden Christensen back. All I want from this movie is I want it to end. I don't want there to be... The people in the chat were saying, like, I hope it ends, and I hope it doesn't set up the next 3. I don't want it to set anything up. I want it to be a fucking end. End. No cliffhangers, no laughs at the end, no post-credit sequences. Just end it, and let's start anew a few years from now. We'll just figure something else out for Star Wars.
Go
ladies and
1,000
gentlemen.
years in the past.
We don't need Snoke to come back ever. We don't need to see another Anakin. Let's just do something else. It's big universe. Big old galaxy out there. Big old fat galaxy.
Now let's talk about what is out on streaming services this week. The first thing that I want to bring attention to is October 25th, Dolomite Is My Name. Super excited to watch this movie. Nick, you interested at all?
I'm interested only in that Eddie Murphy is in it, and people are saying it's almost a return to form for him. But I'm not going to rush out to theaters to see it unless someone tells me it's freaking amazing.
No, it's on Netflix.
Oh, it's going to Netflix.
Yeah.
Then yeah, I'll probably.
I believe it went out in theaters last week.
Was
So
it?
Doesn't matter. Yeah, but it was limited release and all that bullshit.
Oh, okay. My apologies. Maybe. I don't know. Eddie Murphy.
Now
Eddie,
you have total access to it. You can just watch it at home.
The thing is, like, I have a feeling it's going to be one of those things that I throw on my Netflix queue, and if the trailer doesn't get me, it's gone. Eddie Murphy used to be a powerhouse, but for some reason he decided to play a caricature of himself every time he
Money.
does anything. No, it's not even that. There was just a moment where he used to be so true and so raw, and I don't mean that as a pun. I mean that, like, he used to be Eddie Murphy. Like, you'd see him in Beverly Hills Cop or in Boomerang or Coming to America, and he used to just fucking nail it, and he'd go there and he'd take risks. And now he's doing like one weird character and everything. And it's not. It doesn't feel
Wasn't it
authentic
Dr.
anymore.
Doolittle? No, not Dr. Doolittle.
I honestly think it started with what was the
Not the Clumps. What came before the Clumps?
I mean, it was
Nutty Professor.
Nutty Professor.
I feel like
Yeah.
that's
He started
the
doing
first-
that character like
Can you bring up
Hercules,
his
Hercules.
IMDb?
And I just feel like he
And-
he didn't want to take risks anymore, and he didn't want to be himself anymore. And I think he got he like put such a big buffer between him and the audience that he's just not authentic anymore. And so like I want him to not do movies anymore. I want to get fucking back on stage and just be himself and do an hour-long comedy and then go back into movies. He needs to rediscover himself and not pretend like he's anything that he's not.
Did you talk about Doolittle trailer last week?
Yeah,
Yes.
you did.
Jesus fuck.
I hated it.
That might be one of the worst trailers for a real movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
No, I didn't watch it.
With Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doolittle.
This is what he's giving us.
Yep.
You know what? You know
looks
what?
bad.
Yeah,
You
see,
know what?
like-
He's earned a break.
Wait, real quick, scroll down just a little bit. I feel like we've got Beverly Hills Cop 3, which is not a good movie, but he maintains
But
that.
so even in
that
Beverly Hills
style.
Cop 3, no, even in that, he never found the character again. He was like Eddie Murphy playing this like zany version of Axel Foley. He was never Axel Foley. I just think there's a part where people get so famous, they just don't need to really act anymore or disappear into the characters or find the character. And like if you watch Beverly Hills Cop 1 and Beverly Hills Cop 2, they weren't made that far away from each other. But he's perfect in those movies. Then you see Beverly Hills Cop 3 after Eddie Murphy is like over the hump of being a star and is not hungry anymore, and he's just kind of phoning it in. And it's sad.
Did you watch Vampire in Brooklyn?
I sure did.
I feel like he's acting in that movie.
I started
Not
watching it
well.
again the other day.
Yeah?
Because I was like, oh, I haven't seen this movie in a minute.
long time.
And I couldn't get 5 minutes into it.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't
it's
know.
very
I'm good.
ridiculous and absurd. All right, but let's talk about Hulu. Also, it's got Castle Rock season 2 premiering.
Kevin, really quick, speaking of Hulu, I forgot to bring up Watch Letterkenny season 7.
Oh yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was a different.
Should I start there?
No. I mean, honestly, the story like itself just doesn't really matter. Like you have to start in the beginning just to get like the cadence of the jokes.
Sure.
But like after that, it's pretty much just like watch whatever. Season 7 definitely is a different pace than the other seasons. There's almost like a different formula and how they're telling stories and whatnot. But the biggest bit is they start a kind of a local TV show called Crack an Egg, which is them giving agricultural advice, and it kind of just turns into a slight commentary / talking shit about podcasters and whatnot. My favorite bit was it's their second episode. He's like, "Hey, you might have noticed we have beers on the show, and it's because you guys were saying that when you're watching it, it just feels like you're hanging out with buds. So we figured why not just drink and actually hang out like buds." And it's like, that's what every podcast does. And so there's just little bits like that where I really, really liked. So enjoyed it. Also catching up on The Good Place. Just started season 4 last night. Really enjoying it.
Huh? Gonna wait till that one ends so that I can watch it all.
I've been off the show for a while, so I don't know if you guys talked about Between Two Ferns, the movie.
We did. I talked about it last week. It was one of the movies that I watched.
I loved
Did not like it.
I
at
loved it
all.
so much, man.
Really
The
didn't
cameos.
Like it.
Did you see it yet?
I haven't watched it yet.
Hated it.
It's one of those things where I'm
Do
like,
you like the
I think it's that skit is genius. I think it's brilliant, but I think it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't need to see an hour and a half of that.
I feel like they do such a good job addressing that, and I think that it moves things along at such a brisk pace of like, let's get to the next what the fuck moment, and every what the fuck moment's great. They use their cameos so well, and the amount of giant stars they get is baffling.
The joke in the trailer where he's asked Matthew McConaughey, he's like, out of all the things you can win an Academy Award for, were you surprised you won one for acting? It's pretty good. It's a great joke.
I don't like that humor and like the whole.
I love it.
It was so much of that,
It's perfect.
I love it.
and not enough. I feel like they spent so little time actually in the little interview things. where
Oh
it's
my
just,
god, they spent the perfect amount of time. Or it would have been too much. Then it would have just been a bunch of YouTube
Yeah,
videos and a
I thought
playlist.
It was too much.
The in between storylines are so great. And Nick, there's just one moment.
I'll watch it.
I just can't wait for you to see because I know it. I wish that I had a camera on you.
Yeah.
Because there's this one moment that happens that's gonna fucking get you
All
so
right.
hard.
All right. Well, I'm an easy get. I laughed at Stuber.
Now let me tell you what is out in movie theaters near you. Countdown, which is that really, really shitty shot movie where like
The app
you get an
movie.
app and it tells you when you're gonna die, but like something about it just catches my eye. I don't think I'm
It
gonna watch
could be
it.
Happy Death Day.
Yeah, yeah.
Or it could not. We'll see.
But on a cheaper budget, it seems like. It seems like
First
we
one
shot
wasn't
it.
Great either.
Happy Death Day?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It felt like a movie though. It doesn't matter.
It felt like a movie.
Well,
It felt like a movie.
where, like it felt like it was shot on an actual like camera, not like a C300.
I don't know.
Anyways, Black and Blue is also out, which is
Yo.
looks cool.
We saw the trailer for this before Gemini Man. Mm-hmm. It looks freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Tessa Thompson as a cop that sees cops doing some really bad shit and then is on the run from the cops. And then the cops, because she has body cam footage of the cops doing fucked up shit, like killing people. So the cops are hunting her. Then the cops go to the criminals and go into like gang residential areas and are kind of like, hey, we'll give you hella money if you track her down. So it's fucking gangsters and the cops chasing Tessa Thompson down as a
Yeah,
cop.
it's cool.
What a great premise.
Cool.
Great name too.
Yeah.
Dope shit.
Thanks for interrupting the show, Andy. What's up?
Why are you hosting the show all of a sudden? Go ahead.
I watched two things recently.
right.
I just want to make mention of it. The Lakers lost to the Clippers.
Okay, cut his mic. He's wasting
and the
fucking time.
Spurs won. Go Spurs, baby.
Woo!
Let's go Spurs.
Spur it up, babe.
And then the last thing that is out this week is the Current War, the director's cut. I don't know if the regular version is out,
That's
but
weird.
the director's cut.
I do want to
is.
see that at
Yeah?
some point. Yeah.
I
Current
feel like
War?
the Current War, which
It's the
is
one about like the guys that were making back in the day, Edison versus Tesla versus Westinghouse.
Current.
Current, as in like
with
electrical
Westinghouse, right? Anyways, it's Tom Holland and like a couple big names. It looks interesting, but it also looks like it's gonna be like 3 hours.
I'm in.
Of like
It looks like The Prestige, and I'm in.
no, but like the Prestige is way cooler. Like because it's like not magic, but like
That's Christopher
weird
Nolan,
fantasy
yeah.
stuff. And Christopher Nolan, this movie looks interesting, and I'd give it a shot if someone wanted to go watch it, but I don't think anyone does. Yeah. Last week I asked you for your topic. What 2019 movie are you still excited to see that hasn't come out yet? A couple of you guys wrote in. Pizza Bagel says, "I'm really excited to see for the Lighthouse." Sorry, there it goes. And can't wait to hear what you all have said about this week about what y'all have said this week about. Everyone I follow says it's most brilliant, disturbing movie of the year. Pattinson. Easily my most hype of
Jesus
2019.
fuck. I
Honorable
was
mention
wrong.
to
In
Knives
Black
Out.
and Blue, it's not Tessa
It's not
Thompson.
Tessa
It's
Thompson?
Naomi Harris,
It's Naomi Harris.
who plays
Oh.
Moneypenny in Skyfall, and I love her.
That's not Tessa Thompson?
no. Nah.
What the fuck? There's some twin shit going
Tim,
on.
I'm shocked too.
Yeah, wow.
Lee Polero says, this year I'm looking forward to Knives Out. I'm a huge fan of Clue, and this giving similar wacky whodunit vibes. Also, Frozen 2 looks like a grand epic fantasy adventure. I'm all for it. Plus, the music's going to be slapping. Tim, you excited for Frozen 2?
Fuck yeah, I am.
You
They
excited about
debuted
Knives
the
Out?
new song on Dancing with the Stars last week.
Was it good?
Oh, yeah. Into the Unknown. Let's go, baby.
I just feel
And then-
like it's nothing can ever beat.
Let It Go. I don't think
Nothing-
musically anything will beat Let It Go. I am going to be very shocked if Frozen 2 is not better than Frozen 1.
I think it definitely can be. I think they're smart and they're building
It
off
seems
of
like
the lore.
the story is going to be like, there's going to be more, it's more meaty.
I just feel like good luck beating fucking Let It Go.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
know.
no one's going to try. Like, that's one of those things like,
I wouldn't. I'd be like, I'm
Avatar
not
2
even gonna
is
try.
not going to beat Avatar 1, number
Well,
of
it
ones.
could, but I just mean like, Let It Go.
Yeah.
Fucking slap.
The last one is Andrew Francis says, movies I'm excited forward to see in 2019. Star Wars, Rise of Skywalker, The Rise of Skywalker, forgot the Dr. Sleep, Jojo Rabbit, Ford vs. Ferrari, Frozen 2, and A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Nick, out of those movies, which one are you most excited?
I talked to Rohrbeck in Toronto, and he said that A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood is really, really good.
Yeah?
Because it doesn't follow. It's not really about like Tom Hanks is. He plays Mr. Rogers, but it's not about him. It's about like all the other people in his life,
Yeah.
which sounds really good. So I'm excited for that one, and I'm excited for Ford versus Ferrari.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
I don't trust anyone that says that Star Wars isn't the thing they're most excited for.
Well, I mean, Ford versus Ferrari comes out in like a week.
Yeah. Star Wars real far away.
Star Wars
The
too
last one
far,
hurt
bro.
us.
Bro,
That's
where
real bad.
are you living tomorrow? I'm living in today.
Also, Jojo Rabbit comes out to this weekend for select cities.
No. That was last week. It actually comes out for wide release tomorrow on the 25th. I am positive. Can't talk about it, Barrett. I can't talk about it. I'm okay. You can keep shaking your head. No,
Kevin's embargoed.
I am embargoed till the 25th when the wide release happens.
I can look it up.
You can look it up. But like
Jojo
last week,
Rabbit.
it looked like it was a wide release. For whatever reason, all the websites were showing it as a wide release, and it was in a couple of theaters around
Jojo
here.
Rabbit.
Is it the best movie that I've
Moi,
seen this
moi.
year? I don't know.
More.
For next week's bronze tier topic, tell me your favorite scary movie, because that's what the main topic is for next week, and I'm excited to hear what you guys love the most when
We
it
getting
comes to scary
spooky.
movies.
Spooky.
Barrett is saying that on 11/1 it looks like it's more wide release. On 10/25 it looks like it's just coming to the major markets, which are San Francisco, Chicago,
From
Los Angeles,
the
Washington.
paperwork that I have, the wide release day is 10/25.
Well, that's definitely not a wide release. This is
That's
from
not
Taika
wide
Waititi himself. So
I'm telling
Maybe
you
they've
what they're
changed it.
telling
Maybe
me.
they've changed it. Maybe they've changed
He's
it.
Well,
Laika Waititi. He's lying to you.
oh shit!
Will we talk about it extensively next Monday? You know, we'll see.
I don't know anymore.
We'll see.
This fucking show.
Thank you so much for joining us. I've been your host. You can follow me on the social medias at Kinda Funny Kevin. You can follow Nick at Nick_Scarpino. You can follow Tim at Tim Geddes on all social media. Go and watch a movie. Check out Zombieland 2. I liked it. You have a good day.